Not easy being the fastest quarterback you've never seen. I'll be right back. There's no quicker way to get into DFS. Play SuperDraft today and see for yourself.
On the heels of Pete Golden's night out with Bobby Petrino, this is Rolling with the Tide, baby. How you doing, Spencer?
Doing awesome, sir. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, sir. And you told me before the show we got something we need to acknowledge. It's very important. So if anything you're going to listen to tonight, I want you to listen to this. Go ahead, Spencer.
I just want to let everyone know that tonight's show is brought to you by and dedicated with the honor of CTS Sports Room and Rolling with the Tide and myself, who is a veteran who did not have to pay the ultimate price, to Nate Hardy and Mike Coach. They both were Navy SEALs who fought together and unfortunately passed away in the Iraq War in 2008. Fortunately, they both were buried together at the Arlington National Cemetery, once a brother, always a brother, and to all the Golden Star families, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we love our veterans. We support our veterans. Man, I can't tell you, you have to be a real man during the military, and it's coming from straight from the heart. I didn't ever join the military. I wasn't ready. I don't know what I could give you too many excuses. Basically, wasn't man enough. When you sign the dotted line, you gotta be a real man, you gotta be a real woman, because the military they're fighting for our lives. And I tell all the young kids today that right now, you 18, 19 years old and you playing modern warfare and playing video games, there's people actually doing it for real. So be grateful to these young men and women that are out there sacrificing their lives.
100, Joey. 100,
thank you, sir.
The BS stops right then.
Thank you, sir. With that said, speaking of BS, Jimbo Fisher. We're going to get to you in a minute. We're going to get to you in a minute, Jimbo.
I got to put my glasses back on that one.
Jimbo he smiled and he had a little bit of bullshit he has in his teeth. That's how much he was talking about. It's okay, Jimbo. We still love you. We still love you. So what happened was, Spencer, maybe you do. Nick Saban, he was the Senior Bowl happened Tuesday. Nick Saban was at a press conference or was asked by a reporter about, the NIL, and Nick Saban quoted, "When we start using name, image, and likeness for a kid to come to our school, that's where I draw the line." And then he later stated, because that's not why we did this. True. And then later on, he commented and he was like, "I hear these crazy people on TV who say now you're doing it above board." He said, we never did it. We never did it. We never cheated to get a player. We never paid players to come to our school. And now that's actually happening. People are making deals with high school players to go to their school. Spencer, what do you got to say about Nick Saban's comments?
Well, be totally honest with you, sir. He's I don't know if he's 100% correct, because I don't know the history of people coming to Alabama. I've heard stories. I remember being put on probation because of a Ford Escort. So I'm not really sure of that one. Only thing I do know is I have to agree with Coach Saban, because he made the comment, and we've always, with him, has been nobody's listening to him. Nick Saban warned you. He warned you this is coming. Now, he just did it again in that same speech with NIL. It will eventually trickle down to the high schools. Right. And once that happens, you're going to run these guys' education and their future world. They're going to look at them dollars.
Yeah, I mean, money talks.
Yes.
BS walks. Speaking of BS, Jimbo Fisher. We got here you go. Mr. Fisher, Coach Fisher, be correct. Here you go. This is his comments early yesterday.
I'm saying this is point blank. This is point blank because here's my problem. There is no $30 million fund. There is no $5 million. There is no 10. This is garbage, okay? And it pisses me off. To me, it's insulting to the players that we recruited that's why they would come here. You ever been to a game here? You ever come to school here and see the education? You ever talk about the 12th man, the Aggie Network when you're done? There ain't a better university in this country. And all these, and we got writers who have said it and done it off sliced bread. A guy named Slice who made it up. Love to see who sliced bread is and put it out there with sliced bread. Let me find out where it comes from. And then to have coaches in our league and across this league to say it, clown acts. All right? Irresponsible as hell. Multiple coaches in our league. And the guys griping about NIL, griping about transfer portal, using it the most and bragging about it the most. We worry about the kids and social media and internet. How about grown-ups? How about the guys that are supposed to be setting an example? How about writers who are supposed to be writing the right thing? How about coaches that are supposed to be doing the right thing? And I'll tell you what, I know how some of those guys recruit too. It's funny, when Nick Saban said his quarterback got an $800,000 deal, it was wonderful. Now it ain't wonderful no more, huh?
Now, hold up. I got some comments about some of those comments. So, if Texas A&M is so good, why did Quezada leave to go to Auburn? What for? What? To roll toilet paper on trees?
Yes, he enjoys doing that.
Yeah, he went to a second-rate school. If Texas A&M is so great, he basically left to go to a second-rate school. Let's face it, Auburn football team, they're not a very good football team. And their star quarterback is going to Oregon, and Quezada is going to Auburn. Do you see what I'm telling? You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Don't act like Texas don't got no damn money. Texas got plenty of money. Texas, I'm telling you, because it is not NIL. I said it once before. I say it again. Texas football is back because they are going. Don't act like nobody wants to go play in the desert. Nobody wants to go play. Come on now. If I was a kid, I want to play in Miami. I want to play in Florida, the Florida Gators. I want to play Athens because I know these are party towns. Don't act like anybody want to come to Texas. Hey, come on now. In this 12th man, nobody gives a damn about no 12th man. This is the biggest annoyance I ever had in college football. I didn't even know what a 12th man was till y'all came to the SEC and got on my damn nerves. You know what is more dangerous than the 12th man? The cowbells. That's how important the 12th man is to SEC football. It's a joke. So, you know what, Jimbo? Just keep your mouth shut. We know what you're doing. We know you're paying players. It's nothing new. It's no shocker. It's no shocker. It's like, why do you think every time you go to a Texas A&M fundraiser, there's like money falling out of players' pockets? Come on now. Now, look, that's all I need to say. One more thing I'm going to say. Hey, Bama, y'all need Texas A&M. Y'all need 12 players. Bama, we only need 11. Spencer, your comments.
Well, that was definitely 100, sir. You was dead on point. But my other comment I can even add to that is Coach Jimbo Fisher, if you're that great, then why up to this year did you only recruit, I think it's 4 or 5-star people the whole time you've been there? And how many did you get this year with the NIL? I think it might have been 7. Just curious.
How did that happen?
Money, brother, money.
According to Jimbo, no. That's
well,
insult,
no, could have been no.
No, it wasn't those or those companies.
No, he's just so great that this one year is the only time he's done it. I guess it's because he finally beat Nick Saban. He was the first assistant coach to go down in history of beating Nick Saban. I guess that's why all these 5 stars wanted to go see him now.
Yeah, nobody wants to see.
And they didn't even make
Jimbo
it to the SEC. They didn't win the SEC West. They didn't make the SEC championship, and they didn't even make it to the playoffs. So I guess that's a big drawing factor.
But they beat Alabama. You know what the 12th man is? The 12th man is 65,000 drunk Texans sitting there talking about Johnny Manziel and screaming and yelling and paint. That's it. Y'all ain't special. That. You know, I never hated Texas A&M. I never really cared. You know, the only football team I really hate is Auburn. But other than that, I really never hate in Tennessee. Kind of. I mean, Tennessee gets on my nerves a little bit. But don't make Texas A&M on my hit list. Come on, have some class. Let's move on.
I agree with that. I agree with you on that one, sir.
Bill O'Brien.
But now they are.
Now
we're going to talk about O'Brien. All right, let's bring it on. Let's talk about some O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien rumors of him leaving. Nick Saban has been quoted. The new Kenner is something that we have to adapt to. Saban said, Bill's done a great job for us here. Bill's had a very successful career. And of course, you said later that Nick Saban has also stated that decision has not been made, and I don't think it has been made yet, but the rumors are spreading. What news have you heard about Bill O'Brien?
Well, actually, there's nothing that's in the streamline whatsoever about him taking another job. So at this point, he is still our offensive coordinator. But the key on Nick Saban's interview is when he made the comment that if one of our coaches have an opportunity to move on and better themselves, I support them 100%. So to me, that's saying, take the job, dude, move on.
Yeah. I mean, it's simple as that. I mean, you know, the good thing about Nick Saban is, you know, these coaches, you know, he runs the show.
Yes.
And you're just a gear. And once that gear falls off, we'll replace that gear.
Yep.
Nick Saban, you know, I hate that Nick Saban's in his 70s, man, because I wish we had 15, 20 more years with this man.
You ain't going, brother.
This is the most incredible coach. He's like the Phil Jackson of college football. I mean, if not, he's great. He's probably going to go down as greatest college football coach ever.
He already is.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm sorry, Bear. Rest in peace. But yeah, I wasn't alive when you was coaching, but you know, I heard great things.
I was. I got to meet him, actually.
We're 19 years apart, and guess what? We're just two old men from Alabama. Hey, look, I'm an old man now too. We're just two old men from Alabama teaching y'all college football. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going ahead and hit you before we go. Before we go to our guests, I'm going to hit you with. I'm
going to say this is point blank. This is point blank to the because I hear.
Oh.
I'm saying this is point blank. This is point blank to the
hit the wrong button 2 times.
It's
what we're gonna do is his bullshit is coming through. He's trying to come back. Listen,
yes,
we're gonna hit you with a message from our partners at SuperDraft.
Big 3 SuperDraft. Yay. Get the action you need with Big 3's official fantasy partner, SuperDraft. Win cash and exclusive Caesars and Big 3 experiences money can't buy. Where game changers collide, baby.
Now, I've got to tell everybody straight up, I'm sorry to step on your toes here.
Oh, go ahead.
If y'all haven't checked out the SuperDraft, man, y'all need to get on that. Y'all need to at least check it out, because it is an awesome app. Please check it out, because if you ain't, you're missing out.
Look, if you don't want to spend no money on subscriptions, that's okay. You can go ahead and sign up for the free subscription, and you can start earning money now. It's plain and simple. It's like better than what's the FanDuel and Fantasy Draft. I signed up.
I couldn't tell you. I don't even check them out.
I've been on SuperDraft for a month now. I'm already up $353 just picking fantasy draft. We're just playing fantasy sports.
Can I borrow some money?
I haven't put it in my checking account yet. No, but for real, you know, the funny thing is I was playing the PGA golf games, and I signed up for the elite package, the $100 a month.
Yes, sir.
And so I get play all the free games. And, you know, each subscription down, like if you sign up for the free subscription, you get to play the one free game. But then each subscription you get to play it. I get to play all the free games because I signed up for the elite package.
That's great.
And so I was playing the PGA golf one, and I don't know anything about golf. I never watched golf a day in my life, but they give you these little cheat sheets. Like, go ahead and put, you know, it's just basically their opinion who's going to. And I was hitting number 3 on one game. I was number 3. They give you 5 options, and I hit number 3 out of 400 people, and number 6 out of like 1,200 people, and then a 58 over like a 1,200 people or something like big like that. And I end up winning like $50.
So you don't like bragging at all, do you?
I was just like, man, they're giving away money right now. Just check it. I mean, I don't know what more you got to do. If you don't want to go and play for free and sign for a free subscription, it's free, nada, and put in whatever you want. It's not going to cost you a thing. Then hey, that's on you. But I like
win some money.
And win some money. It's simple.
That's awesome, man.
Just click on the link. Just do us a favor. Just click on the link in the subscription because me and Spencer will make some money.
No, there ain't no money coming this way, bro. This all volunteer. I just love Alabama, and I love this. No. I'll be. I'm not gonna. Oh, I almost messed up, y'all. I was about to get. About 2 hours. We're about 2 hours apart from each other. I was about to get a gunshot, but no. No, your family's now, Spencer. You're not you're not that guy. I ain't looking for no money, brother. I'm enjoying every minute of
this because we don't have no money. But when we get money, we're gonna be in the money.
If CTS rolling with the tide was like these other big dogs that's rolling on butts, I wouldn't be here. I want to be where the heart's at, and this show is where Alabama's heart's at. And I appreciate the opportunity of sharing my heart with CTS Newsroom.
And we appreciate the
Sports Room.
And we appreciate you being here, Spencer. We love you. He's only been here for 2 weeks now, and we already like, man, Spencer's the man. Speaking of the heart of Alabama, we're waiting on Terrence Lynch and Griff Redmill.
Big heart. That's one of our number 1 hearts right there.
Yeah, so right now we're killing time. And we're waiting for those two to come on, talk some Alabama football. We're going to ask some questions. Spencer's already been drooling from the mouth. He's got 100 questions. I'm like, man, we only got like 15, 20 minutes, man.
Yeah.
He's like, man, I want to know what day you was born. I want to know what
Bear Bryant like. I already know that. Don't need to know that.
Tell me what Bear Bryant was like. Man, they didn't play with Bear Bryant, but they had to know. You know, I talked to a lot of players about the tower. You know the story about the tower, the Bear Bryant tower.
Yes, sir. I do. Extremely.
Do you realize there's no even players that have graduated and have never even touched that tower?
You ain't allowed to, by what I was told.
Yeah, you're not even allowed to look at it. I mean, you can look at it. I'm just being condescending, but I was talking to one football player, and he attempted to touch it, and he got his butt wore out. Like literally, like you don't touch that tower.
I haven't heard that one, but I will tell you this: Mr. Lynch, Terrence Lynch, he did get a good taste of Bear Bryant because he came in under Stallings. Stallings was a disciple of Bear Bryant, and he ran his team the same way.
Well, he's not here. He's not here right now. Now, there was a story that he told 2 times, and you can go back on the Terrence Lynch interviews in the archives of the CTS Sports Room. Terrence Lynch was late to get on a plane.
Oh, so that's one of my notes I got down here. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Well, it'll be the 3rd time he'll tell the story when he gets here. And so, he got his ass chewed out by Gene Stallings. But then he played Tennessee and had a big game. So
yes, he did. He had to prove a point, and he had a major game. And I think that's the first time we beat, and the only time we beat Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning. Hey, we're country boys. Sometimes our memory is wrong. This was 92. Peyton Manning wasn't playing during that time. I don't think. But
I remember all of our losses of Peyton Manning because I had a running bet with Tennessee fans for every point that Tennessee team beat us, I would suck an orange.
Yeah, but I don't think he was playing in 92 National Championship. The 92.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't playing 92.
Maybe
I was just bringing up about Alabama versus Peyton.
No, okay. Well, our first guest has come in, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
the 1999 SEC champion, Griff Redmill.
Hey guys,
Griff, how you doing?
Doing great.
What's going on, Griff?
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Love you, man. I'm glad you were here. So you have no clue.
I'm glad to be here.
So I'm going to start it off real fast. We've been talking about Jimbo Fisher and Nick Saban. What's your input right now on the comments that Jimbo Fisher put, talking about, is an insult to these new recruits that has come to Texas A&M and laid it on the line to Nick Saban? What's your thoughts on all this? Because I smell a little BS from Jimbo.
Yeah, I smell a little bit too. I mean, who knows what the truth is in terms of how much money was pooled and raised, but the truth of the matter is, right now it's okay to do based on the rules or the lack thereof. So I mean, if they pooled their resources and made some of this stuff happen, then hey, good for them. I mean, they're taking advantage of a situation until it's different. But for him to be so overtly angry about it makes me kind of pause and wonder, why is he so defensive?
Let's get the show.
Real fast, Terrence Lynch he's at work. He's trying to make it in. He'll step in when he can, but you know how it is when you're at work. But he may you never know when stuff like this happens. So if he comes, he comes. If it's not, we'll get him next time. But Griff, you played at Alabama, and you know how the college system works. I'm not getting into no details or anything like that. However, you know how the stuff works. Texas has a lot of money. Okay. Nobody in the right mind wants to go to Texas. Who wants to live 4 years in Texas? Okay. I know people going to say, well, who wants to go to Tuscaloosa? Well, okay. I can understand that too. I can understand too. But, Alabama's built 18 national championships. We have a legacy. I mean, it's a reason you want to go for the legacy. You want to go because of Nick Saban, Bear Bryant. I mean, there's a big tower that none of your players can touch. If Griff knows about that tower, you can't touch that tower. It's a legacy. Texas don't have Alabama's legacy in football. So why would you want to go to Junction, Texas, in the hot sun and practice and 200-degree weather? You do it for the money. So that's all I got to say about it. Man, I went on the little rant. I just think Jimbo's a little crazy. He's a little cuckoo. But what's your take on, kids wanting to go to Texas play football instead of other schools like Miami, Florida,
Alabama,
Southern Cal? I mean,
well,
places where they got beaches.
I've been to Junction City, and definitely nobody wants to go there to play football. But College Station, Texas is a different story. My brothers lived out there for 12 or 13 years, and they love it. And it's everything. It's about perspective. I mean, you think about it. We're all from right here, and Alabama's our school. This is our state school. You're an Alabama fan, or you're an Auburn fan, it's the same thing in Texas. I mean, there's loyalty out there, and they happen to be right there in the middle of one of the biggest recruiting bases in the country. So there's lots of kids that they grew up, wanting to play for A&M or play for Texas, and they wind up being 4 stars and 5 stars. And there's a lot of them to pick from. So, all that changes in the recruiting game. But I mean, there's going to be people that want to go play at Texas and College Station and Austin. Just like there's people that, I mean, I don't know why anybody want to go play in Happy Valley, Penn State, but they do, and have for decades.
Can't deny that. Griff, got a question for you, if you don't mind, sir.
Sure.
What's your thoughts on the new Alabama O-line hire, Eric Wolf from Kentucky?
Well, I don't know a whole lot about him, but from the little I do know, I'm really excited about him. I think it's a great hire. I think he'll be. I think he's a great players type coach that he'll get a lot out of our guys. So I'm really excited to see what he brings to the table in Tuscaloosa. He seems excited to be there, and that's always encouraging and exciting to see from your new coaches. So it doesn't seem like the moment's too big for him. Seems like he's ready to go.
That is true. Now, feeding off of that, you do not have to answer this, but I'm just curious, because with your personality, I don't think you're going to hold much back. What is your true gut feelings on Doug Moreau last year as our offensive line coach?
Well, our offensive line definitely struggled at times, struggled a lot. There's definitely some questions there. I mean, he's got the pedigree and the history and the resume. But, you look at what we had on the field, and you look individually, player for player, and those guys are some bosses, man, So why, when we get on game day, are we not getting so, it does make you wonder, make you question a little bit, and I looked at the Auburn game, and we were getting murdered in the first half. And we finally make a change at halftime and, swap out the center, swap out the right tackle, and everything changed.
Yes,
and so everybody was kind of like, oh, great move. But I'm like, hadn't we been watching these guys practice all year long? Why we went into the Auburn game at halftime to make this move? Because I can tell you, Neil Callaway would have put my butt on the bench way before then. It was not the last game of the season when we got our backs against the rope. So, I don't know. And there's a lot of that we don't see on the surface too. You can't look at a guy with his resume and background and history and look at one season and say that we didn't perform so well and say, well, this guy can't coach. He can obviously coach. There's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes that we don't even know about that could have parlayed into some subpar performances this year.
That is so true. Now, I didn't play college. I went in the military instead of going to college, but I did play all growing up, all the way through high school and all. I played both sides of the line. So I'm going to ask you this question because I'm just curious, because I know what I did personally. So I'm just going to ask you, is there any truth to the white knuckle look if a defensive lineman's going to bull rush you? Did you even look at their hands?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know who probably taught me the most about little tricks of the trade was a guy named, you might remember him, Michael Myers.
Yes, sir.
So Michael, Big Mike was he was a JUCO, but he was in my signing class. And when I got to Bama, I played defensive line initially. That's what they signed me as. And so I was in the D-line meeting room with Mike, and he was such a great guy, man. Just such a smart player, plus just being crazy physically talented. It was on another level, but he taught me a lot. And when they moved me to offense the next spring, he took great pleasure in exploiting all the things I didn't know about playing offensive line. And he would just have a field day with me because we would go during spring, we would go ones on twos. Clearly he was a one and I was a two during that part of my career. But after practice, he'd circle back around and he would say, "Hey man, you know how I know you're doing that? You know how I know you're pulling?" Or and so him kind of educating me on what I was doing to tip off the guy across from me helped me know what the other guy that I was trying to block was doing. So whether it be a bull rush or whether they're going to do a twist, you just kind of learn and from the guys that are a little bit more older than you and more experienced, and you pick up on those things along the way.
That is true. For me personally, because, I weighed a whole lot more back then than I do now. You saw my white knuckles when I put my hand in the dirt and I was trying to get the pressure off my hips to do what's coming next.
Yeah.
That was me personally. But with that said, I would like to know, for our young viewers that watch this show, can you tell them how sports helped you get prepared for life after football, after school?
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's a huge part of my life and just my personal development. You know, I think there's a lot to be said for being a part of a team, and I think a lot of young people, they don't grasp the importance of being a good teammate. You know, you got kids that they may be the star, and they're totally content with being the star. But yeah, but there's a lot more to it than that. There's being a good teammate and being somebody that you know, the guy next to you can depend on and count on, and those are things that are going to carry with you through life, because at some point in time you're going to be, unless you just become independently wealthy on your own, you're going to be part of some organization somewhere along the way, where you're going to be working with people and working alongside people, and just learning how to work together is a valuable trait that it's you know, some people have it naturally, but some people it's a learned behavior, and sports does a great job at that. And then the discipline aspect of it too. Just, you know, having a plan, having goals, setting goals, and then coming up with a plan to execute those goals. And you know, that's something that it's hard to obtain that internal infrastructure unless you know, are playing team sports.
That is so true. I agree totally. Joey, go ahead, man.
Oh, thank you, sir. Griff, let's go back to the 1999. I mean, you have talked so many times about 1999, that for first SEC championship since 1992, I believe. I could be wrong. Was it?
I believe that's right.
Yeah. You know, let's go back to that game. You know, I believe you was playing Florida, right?
Oh yeah.
And it was a close game. Okay.
Mm-hmm. In Gainesville for the championship.
Yes. So what was the feeling in the locker room knowing that, you know, this game is back and forth, back and forth? I mean, what was y'all going through during this time? What was coach's mentality? What was the players' mentality? What was your mentality?
Well, I'm not real sure what the coach's mentality was, because I was just trying to keep my mess together. You know, I mean, it was I mean, all the things you can imagine a big game being just going on inside your head. And up to that point, we had not been very good. You know, we'd come off, you know, the year before was a mediocre, middle of the road season. The year before that, which was my freshman year, Coach Dubos's first year, you know, we were not good. We were just beaten down by probation, and numbers were not there. So we had not had a lot of success, but we felt like we had something special with that team. And we were just, you know, there's something to say for the art of knowing how to win, or learning how to win. And, you know, just because you got, you know, some studs on your side of the ball, that don't mean you're necessarily going to win. And well, we had some studs on that team. And so, you know, we got beat by La Tech, and everybody, you know, in the country thought, here we go again, you know. And that was that was probably the best thing that happened to us. So we get to that Florida game, and nobody in the United States of America thought that we had a chance of winning that game. But those 70 ball players, so those 70 ball players and the guy on that plane, we thought we could beat them. And we really, I don't even know why we had very little hesitation. I think you would go man for man, and everybody felt confident about it. And then, of course, we get down there, and it's a total shootout. And of course, in today's game, every Saturday is a shootout between everybody. But, you know, this was 1999. People are still, you know, scores are 21-17. And, you know, it's a big day, you know, of offense right there in 1999. So we get in this shootout, and it's just, you know, you're just hanging on by your fingernails the whole time, and just trying not to give up a play, and trying to make a play. And every time you break the huddle, it's like, you know, if I screw this up, or if I make it happen, it could be the thing that breaks it. And you know, we just held on enough plays.
Well, first off, this is Griff Redmill from the 1999 SEC Championship team. If you're listening to us on podcasts, please follow us on Spotify. Anywhere you listen to a podcast, watching us on YouTube or Twitter, you know, like, follow, subscribe, Facebook, also like us. So with that said, I got 3 more questions. Griff, I got to ask you about I got 3 more questions. Then we're gonna switch it to Spencer for the last question. The tower, the Bear Bryant Tower. Have you, since you've been there, since you've gone and visit, has one player attempted to climb that damn tower?
No, I mean, I've never seen anybody attempt to climb it. I don't know who would want to climb it, man. It's really tall. And it a spiral staircase all the way up. I don't know that I can get my big butt, up through there without getting stuck. So
I'm just one of those. I'm just one of those people. Like when you tell me I can't do something, I'm like, okay, I know why you can't. Yeah, I know why you can't. Is his story? Is Bear Bryant? He is the state of Alabama. You think of Alabama, you think Bear Bryant. I can understand it. I honor it. Trust me, I know. But when you tell me I can't do something, I'm coming there at 2:00 in the morning and I'm gonna climb that damn tower, stand there and be Bear Bryant for a minute, and then get my ass down so I won't get in trouble. But that's just me.
There's no doubt some of these crazy fools that I played with probably at some point in time have tried it, maybe accomplished it. But, that was one of those cool things about the practice field that, in today's time where they do a facelift to the facilities every 2 or 3 years and spend $25 million changing everything, and it looks totally different. That's one of the mainstays. It's always been there, and it's a pretty neat icon, for what it stands for and what it means. So it's pretty cool that we've got that.
Yeah, some construction worker who's painted it several times has been up there, but yet you can't go up there.
Yeah, or some of the managers that are there after everybody goes home,
Yeah.
You're up there.
But your blood, sweat, and tears, no, you don't get to go up there. Yeah, you sacrifice your life. You damn near kill yourself for this school, but yet you won't get to go up there. But if you're a booster, you get your ass up there and you play Bear Bryant for a little bit. But
no doubt.
2 more questions, and then Spencer got a question. We're gonna let you go because we appreciate you coming on here. We love you. I mean, you're part of the CTS family. Tom Brady, you played against Michigan in the bowl game. My first question in that bowl game, before that bowl game, how much did you party? Because I heard a lot of stories about you guys going out there and partying, and Sean Alexander, making it rain for those young ladies. How much? Where did you go?
Easy.
No, easy. We already discussed this crap. You go ahead and tell where did you go, what club you went to, and go ahead.
Well, we had a really good time in South Beach. There's no doubt about that. I mean, you take a bunch of Bama boys, man, and we've barely been out of the woods in Alabama, and you give us some per diem money and put us in South Beach. We didn't even know how to act, and much less dress for the club dress code or whatever. But I can definitely tell you, Sean Alexander wasn't making it rain because he was probably in his hotel room resting up. He wasn't that guy. He wasn't that kind of guy. But
Tom, Sean. Well, according to sources of the CTS,
like I said, easy.
No, it's no easy. We discussed this on archive. It's too late. They can't do nothing now.
All right, go ahead.
What they gonna do? Take away Sean Alexander's jersey? What?
They gotta come to my closet.
If he was out there, I didn't see him. I can promise you that.
Yeah.
We went to the promenade on South Beach. That was kind of the Bama Mecca.
So who did you go with?
Oh man, I mean, I had my whole crew, which we always ran with. It was Dustin McClintock and Sam Matthews and probably Todd Whitmore, and those were kind of my boys. We rolled tight back in the day.
Mal Moore right now is shaking his spirit, is shaking his head right now. Last question from me, and then
he was out there too. I guess
he was making it rain with Sean. Last question from me. Tom Brady's retiring. Of course, y'all lost to Michigan that year. A young Tom Brady. He got drafted in the 7th round. I believe it was the 7th round. New England Patriots picked him up. 7 Super Bowl. He won 7 Super Bowls. He's retiring. Your thoughts on Tom Brady?
Well, so kind of a funny story. I was telling my kids, of course, they were all talking about Tom Brady the other night. And when I told them that, I played against Tom Brady, and they, whatever, Dad, because I tell them, I make up these little white lies all the time about things I've done. And so they halfway believe me usually. I'm like, no, I really did. And so I literally have to get the game tape out and play it and
You still have a VCR?
Well, I had them all converted to DVD.
Oh,
But
okay.
that don't mean that the quality is up to snuff. So the quality is so poor.
You can catch it on YouTube.
My son said, "Dad, is this what black and white TV was?" It's technically color, but it was right after black and white TV. But yeah, Tom, that's an interesting story because, of course, Michigan had a good team going in, and we felt like we could beat them. But yeah, I don't remember Tom Brady making the scouting report. They had I can't remember the other guy's name, but the other guy that they just wanted to be the quarterback so badly all year, and then Tom would come in, and bring them back and win the game, and that happened multiple times that year. But certainly when we're game planning and a couple of days before the game, you have a big team meeting and general scouting report for the whole team, offense, defense, special teams, and they review key players. And his name never came up. I mean, certainly not. Nobody's thinking this guy's going to be the greatest player of all time. I mean, he's not even the top 10 player on their team. And they had some dudes on that team, if you remember. And so it was, hey, for him, it's a really cool story. For me, it's really terrible when we missed an extra point and lost the Orange Bowl. Felt like we should have won.
Yeah, not that kicker now? He's like a doctor or a surgeon. Where did he must have partied somewhere. Where did he party? Was he with you?
He did not party. He did not. So he had no excuse. He should have made it. So, and I'll tell him that. But
yeah, there's a certain football player that does not like him. We got somebody from somebody from India wrote something on YouTube. But yeah, it's funny that you said that because I was sitting there one time. I tell my kids, like, you know the movie The Terminator? Yeah, it's based on my life story. I tell little lies like that. And they're like, yeah, back in the day, they used to think it was true. Now they're 11 and 10. They were like, yeah, daddy, yeah, whatever. But
I had them and my godsons believing that I was the strongest man on earth until they were like 13. And now they're like, we're full of it.
Now, you do realize you're old when I was sitting there watching wrestling. And I think it was a pay-per-view. And my daughter comes in and they're, hey, Dad. I said, what, baby? What's going on? You know that actor Dwayne Johnson? I said, The Rock. No, Dwayne Johnson. The Rock. Dwayne Johnson. He played in The Nanny. He played in a bunch of movies. He played in that movie that you watch. The Rock. Whatever, Daddy. I don't know why what Rock? Rocky. I don't like Rocky. Okay. I said, what about Dwayne Johnson? Did you know he wrestled? Yes, his name was The Rock.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
She's like, I don't believe you. Anyway, who'll come up with a stupid name like that?
Made him a lot of money.
All right, you're burning up his time. I need to jump up in here.
Okay, go ahead.
I got all the time in the world.
All right. Well, Griff, right off the get-go, I admire your spirit. I admire your energy. And obviously, you must have a gift for some little BS from here to there. And with that being said, I could see back in the day, me and you could have floated a keg fish banking at one time. But my question for you is, back at your prime, the media pumped you up to your claim of fame as the kid that defied all odds. How did that make you feel at the time? Not now, back then.
I've never really heard anybody phrase it that way. That's
how they wrote about you.
I was very proud of my journey to get to Alabama. I grew up in Jasper, which is 55 miles down the road. We grew up Alabama fans. We grew up going to games and y'all won't believe this. I'll have to, we get offline. I'll have to send you a picture of what I looked like as a freshman in high school. I was about 6'5", 145 pounds.
What?
And, and so, definitely didn't look like the guy that's going to, be signing with an SEC school. And so I was a really late bloomer, but early on when I was a sophomore in high school, I don't know. I mean, I really love playing football. I played since I was 7 or 8, and I thought I want to do this. Like I want to play college ball, and I mean, if I want to play college ball, I want to play at Alabama. And and my coaches were kind of like, yeah, whatever. At least I mean, really, I had great coaches. I will say that, and they were encouraging. But as an adult looking back, they were probably thinking, yeah, whatever.
Start eating some cornbread.
Yeah, and but I just worked really hard, and and there's one thing you can't coach, and that's size. And and I played 3 sports in high school, so the weight training thing was something that was never really consistent for me. So it probably hindered my physical development until going into my senior year, and I got hurt and hurt my knee in track and field doing the long jump, believe it or not. And so I just focused on lifting and working out and just worked really hard. And so I kind of was a late bloomer physically, and then all of a sudden, we have a really good senior season. We had not been very good at Walker my sophomore and junior year, so no coaches are coming around because we got no players, and then it just kind of changed all in just a few months. And so it was really kind of a magical situation. It was like, this is my dream. I'm going to do everything I can do to make it happen. And then, the rest of it's got to come together by some sort of fate, or luck. And it did. So, it didn't diminish it for me, for people to, quantify it by the guy that defied all the odds. I was proud of that. And I kind of feel like, that's the kind of person I am. Like, when I figure out something that I want to do, I'm going to find a way to do it and find a way to make it happen. And I think that's, part of what we talked about in the beginning, what team sports do for you as a child, a young adult. If you've got that in you, it can bring it out of you. And it's why I was successful in college, and it's why I've been successful here in my professional life, and why I'm successful as a dad and as a friend. And I don't know, it's just something that I recognize about myself and I'm proud of.
Well, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we have the great now Terrence Lynch. He did not make it. He got caught up on work. So we apologize. We'll get him on the show. Also, we promoted Brett Beard from Florence, Alabama. He sick with the the C word. So Brett, get better. But we'll try to get those two back on the show. But Griff, you came through for us. We thank you. This is the second time that you saved us.
You got to
saved us on 3rd and 3, and now you saved us here. But I can't wait to see you next time, because I know you're gonna come back on and tell more great stories. But with that said, we thank you. Thank you for that 99 SEC championship, and thank you for all you do for the CTS, man.
Hey, man, thank you. Always happy to be a part of it, guys, and appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Well,
that was awesome.
Yeah, it was, but two of our guests couldn't, of course, we didn't promote Brett Beard because he told me earlier that he wasn't going to make it. However, he said he'll try 2 or 3 weeks later, down the line. And Terrence just got caught up on work, so we'll get him again. Of course, you can watch we got 2 interviews on the CTS archive, and you can go back and watch them. And
yeah, but what you don't have on the archives is what he did to me with this football, what cost me money while he was playing. No. We got to get him back on so I can tell my misfortunes.
Do you want to save it? Do you want to save it?
I'm saving. He's got to hear this, because he's going to laugh. Because it's him made me do it, but it wasn't his fault.
Well, everybody else, you come back next week. We got some great Alabama football players coming on. Stingray, he's booking crazy. He's got guests coming on till April. So I don't got the book in front of me, but come back at next Thursday. The 2 old guys, Spencer and Joey, we're going to be representing Rolling with the Tide. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the CTS Sports Room. Spencer, thank you for coming on. What are you going to do for the rest of the night?
Well, I gotta go take care of my wife. She just had hip replacement, so I gotta get down there and take care of her pain management. But last thing I want to say, nothing but love for all the viewers. Thank you.
And thank you, Spencer, and thank you to the viewers as well. Until please come back Tuesday with 3rd and 3. And with that said, subscribe, follow, like on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And we are out. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.